All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Joyceloyk, the Dare to Glow coach. I'm super excited having these amazing women of power, as I love to call it. Um, I'm super excited, and I'm also excited for our topic today. But before I go into our topic, I would love to invite our guests, our beautiful guests, to do an introduction before we go into talking about our topic for today.
Coach Joyceloyk, Coach Jane, thank you very much for having me on. I'm Adele Jacobs. I'm from Coaching Minds. I'm the program director, and I'm from South Africa. So that's me in a nutshell. I enjoy coaching and leading people and developing our new coaches that we've got at Coaching Minds.
It's a pleasure having you, Coach Adele. Really, it's a pleasure. And yeah, I'll give it to Coach Jay to also introduce herself as always.
Oh, thank you. And Adele, again, thank you so much for honoring the invite. I know it's a power packed time at Coaching Minds, but sparing us the time, we really appreciate it. My name is Jane Jogu. I am a transformation mindset coach. I'm all about the mind. We want to eliminate all those limiting beliefs and thinking patterns that are holding us back. So I'll not dive into a lot. I'll just give it back to you, Coach Lloyd.
Yeah, thank you so much. So just a little bit about myself. I'm a confidence coach. I'm part of the Coaching Minds as an ambassador, and um, and it's always a pleasure serving others. So mindset shift CEOs as a group is all about us shifting our mindset from basically negativity to positivity to growth and so much more. Our topic for today is quite an equality topic because it's for both men and women. Sometimes men say, "Oh, you don't talk about us, you only talk about women." Today it is equality. So our topic for today is going to be how is a changing mindset key to achieving gender balance in this modern age. And when we say modern age, there's a lot that comes in mind. But I would like to hear from the lovely coaches right now what they think the modern age means to them. I'll start with our lovely coach, Coach Adele, our guest for today.
Thank you so much. For me, the modern age is it's more about a mindset because you can have people from previous generations, I'm talking decades ago, that is their mindsets are in the modern age. And you can get modern people from this age, the 2000s, the 90s, that actually has an older mindset. So for me, it is really understanding where your viewpoint's coming from and not really saying modern age. It is where your mindset is at.
Yeah, Coach Jay, you'd like to share what is the meaning of modern age to you?
I feel like Adele has taken the words out of my mouth because, as a mindset coach, when you talk about the modern age, I believe it's about the mindset. Where is your mindset at this particular time? We are evolving. The world is moving so fast. We always say it's a volatile, uncertain, and all that. It's just moving so fast. Innovation is happening. So, where your mindset is, I believe that's where the modern age is right now. Back to you. You're on mute, Coach Joyce Loy.
It's very clear that both of you have already answered it. Modern age is today, your mindset today. Where we want to go sometimes to the past or even to the present, we want to go to the future. What is your mindset today? So that has been answered. The other question I want to ask before we dive into our point for today is what is the importance of changing a mindset? And I'll give a small explanation before I go to the coaches. So when you look at the research shows that mindset plays a significant role in determining our life outcomes. Anything we want in life, whether to improve our health, whether to decrease stress, whether it's basically being resilient to life. It starts with your mindset. And by understanding that a shifting mindset is all you need to improve your health, then you're basically that's the most important thing. So I'd want to hear from the coaches what they would tell us a little bit more on what it means, the importance of changing mindset. Again, I'll go to our guest first, Coach Adele.
For me, that changing mindset is so important, because if you stuck on that fixed mindset that you can't move past obstacles, you will stay on the same level, and you won't grow and you won't progress, because you won't see the openings of what is available to you, especially on your health. Are you just accepting it? Someone said to you, there won't be, in my personal case, you won't get better, you won't get worse with your mobility. Do I just accept that? Or do I take that shift in my mindset, accept the situation, but yet still work on it? Go to the gym, exercise, try and walk around as far and as possible. So for me, the importance was, if I didn't have that within me to say, you know what, I can still move around, I can still achieve things, I can still use my mind rather than my body, I can still exercise. So for me, that the importance was there to really have that acceptance, but yet still have that mindset to say, I can do things. So it is important in any circumstances, in your job, your work environment. Are you going to have that mindset to stay where you are, or are you going to have that shift to say, you know what, I can learn, I can grow, I can do more things. This is what I've got within me. If you don't have that shift to move forward, you don't have the value and the importance that your mindset should be at.
Yes, and I'm 100% going to say that is very, very true. And here, when I read on the comments, Paul says, "Hello, ladies." He's excited to be here. And then he also says, "Very, very true, Adele." So it's very, very true. I will not add anything on it. I would also want to hear what Coach Jay would want to add on that.
Again, Adele has taken the words out of my mouth. But but for me, a shift in mindset, it's I look at it in terms of freedom, in terms of liberating yourself. It is a mindset that allows you to be flexible. You're not confided. Again, I go back to thinking beyond the box. You're not confided in that space. Rather, you have that mindset that, hey, I'm ready to learn. Hey, this is okay for it to happen. It's okay. I did not get what I wanted today, but what mindset do I have? Is it a mindset that encourages me to move forward, or it's a mindset that makes me stay there, feel sorry for myself? I lose time, I lose days. It starts affecting my relationship with you. It starts affecting every other thing in our daily lives. So for me, it's all about freedom. It's about liberating ourselves. It's about being ready to evolve and learn. Back to you.
All right, and you guys have said it all. And all I can say is, anyone watching right now, if you could comment and let us know what is the importance of changing mindset to you. If you could leave us a comment right now on your perception. What is your understanding? And before I dive into our points for today, I would like to say, mindset is your superpower. It is your superpower. Everything begins from your mind. And then here I am, I'm going to go into our topic for today. So our topic is, how is a changing mindset key to achieving gender balance in modern age? And my first point, before I go to the first point for our guest for today, is basically use neutral expressions. For me, I've come to a point where now, if I'm trying to talk to someone, give an example of a police officer, I'd rather say police officer than policeman or policewoman. You get, because that's where it comes into context of, why do I have to say woman? Why do I have to say man? We are all equal. So I rather say police officer, you know, and maybe a chairhead. I rather use chairhead than say chairman, the word chairhead, or maybe a presiding officer. Like, you have to look at your language if you're looking at a changing mindset when it comes to gender equality, or modern, or equality in the modern age. You look at the words you use, what context, the language really matters in this modern age, because people look at what you say and they judge you immediately. Not like I'm saying care about people judging you, but it really matters the kind of language you use around people, because then they will start saying, oh, this one is discriminative, only considers women, doesn't want to listen to women, or only cares about men. So I feel if we are going to have a changing mindset, one of the things is being very neutral on how we express ourselves when we are using phrases in our day to day. And I will go to Coach Adele to share her first point.
I like the point that you brought in, and for me, it comes to acceptance and also understanding. My point that I'm bringing in today is, it's a little bit of a personal story that happened to me years ago when I was in retail. I had an older gentleman, put it that way, that came in and came into the store and he asked for the manager. And I came because we were only two ladies working on the site that he needed. And I said to him, well, I am the manager. How can I help you? And he said to me, I don't want to speak to a female. I want to speak to a male. And I thought, okay, now I'm going to assist him without, I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to say to him, but there is no way that we can help you. Then you need to go somewhere else. I made a plan. I accepted what he was saying. And I had that understanding that this is where he's coming from in his mindset. So in order to help him, I'm going to call one of the gentlemen from the technical side, the manager from the technical side in the vehicles, and I will then translate to him. He can tell me what the gentleman wants, and it became like a dialogue. The gentleman would say to me that is what he wanted, that's the needing help he needs, and then that manager would speak to me, and I would say to him, okay, let's do it this way. And eventually it came that we had to get head office involved. And I had to phone head office, and I would say to them, listen, I have a situation here. I need to speak to a male, and I will put the AA member on the phone with the male, and then they can resolve it. And I actually felt so bad for his wife that was with him, because she just stood behind, and she said, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I didn't want to make her feel even worse. So he had the gender problem and the mindset problem, but I had that acceptance of him, and really had to understand from his point of view. Maybe he had a previous experience that we were unaware of, where some female couldn't help him. But to give that customer service and that understanding, we made that plan, and we eventually got him help. His problems were sorted out, although it took a longer route, and a lot of people in the store that had to accept the situation. So for me, the mindset is, how is your mindset? Are you going to say, okay, I'm taking example, I'm a female and I'm superior to this male gentleman, and in my case, I'm the manager of the store, so you will deal with me, or you need to go somewhere else, or you're going to have that mindset shift, like you're saying, and saying, listen, I understand where he's coming from, but let's make a plan and help him. So it's shifting that mindset in that situation where you're dealing with a person that sees your gender as inferior. So it's a little double barrel, is how are you going to react? That's what I'm saying, is Can you shift your mindset in such a situation?
Yeah, I like your point, Coach Adele. And it happens a lot even when you find some male individuals saying, I can't work with this person because they're ahead of me, or if this person gets promoted because she's a woman, I'm going to leave the company. But at the end of the day, if someone can have a change mindset that in this day and era, and that's where I'm going to go to Coach J to share her next point, is in this day and modern age, men can do things women do. Women can do things men do. It's just, it's not that like the old days where women were supposed to do this, men were supposed to do this. There are no roles anymore. You can play any role you want as long as you have the capability of doing it. So that goes to Coach J to share her next point.
Thank you so much, Adele. That was so powerful. And while I'm listening to you and tying it up with the point I had first of in the modern day and era, as Coach Joy has said, things have changed, things have evolved. And what happens is that one thing I came to learn, it is your responsibility as a person on how, as you said, you're going to react or you're going to respond to that situation. Being the manager of the store, it was okay for him because behind every behavior there's a positive intention. So maybe this guy, as you said, had an experience that you are not aware of. So how you handle that might shift the mindset of this person to a better place, or it might shift it to a worse place. And we see this happening a lot even in our homes. We are living in a world right now where the roles have changed. Women are no longer the primary caregivers in the house where they have to stay at home, they have to look after the children. No, now we have, and this goes back to the Feb book for Coaching Minds, the book club, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Jupiter. And actually, this topic came from that book where you hear that a man decided to stay home, be a stay-home dad. What happens when this man decides to be a stay-home dad? How does the society take this? Is this man comfortable? Because it can be okay for this man. He has shifted the mindset. He's okay that my wife can be the sole breadwinner and I can stay home and look after the children. But how is the society looking at that? How many fingers are pointed at him? How many words are being said to him behind his back, in front of him? So shifting everybody's mindset and accepting that in today's age, a man can stay home, be the one who's looking after the children, be the one who is cooking, and a woman can go to work and be the primary caregiver, provide finances in the house. And once we get that shift in the mindset, we start experiencing that balance, because for a man to stay home, you'll say it's fine, the society understand this is fine. For a woman to do that CEO role, to do that role that is considered a man's territory, it's going to be appreciated, it's going to be welcomed with no fighting. Like Kojoy has said, if she gets promoted before me, I'm going to resign. Why are you resigning? She's qualified for her to do that. He is qualified to do that. So when we shift the mindset for us to accept that the world has changed, the traditional paradigms have changed as well, we have to embrace that. We have to be happy with that. Back to you, Coach Joy.
Yeah, and and you just mentioned my point in everything you just shared right now, sharing households. While women have taken up roles of men in offices and vice versa, you could say, it's amazing because when I look at home, back home, I'm from Uganda. When I look at Uganda, you find a lot of men who are working in saloons, and you basically go to the saloon and you tell everyone, you know what, it's this guy working on my hair, but they are women. Why? This guy has become so skilled at doing it more than a woman. But those days, it was women doing hair. It was women, knitting. Men are doing all these things these days. So when you look at the changed roles, it also happens in homes, households. A man helping the wife to clean up, a man cooking for his wife, a man staying home, like Coach has said, a man staying home as a stay-home dad while the wife becomes runs the becomes the breadwinner, like we like to say it in Africa. She's the breadwinner, and the man takes up the role of taking care of the children fully. But at the end of the day, the question I always ask myself, is it about society, or it's also about you as a family, what you decide as a family? Because every time we look at what society thinks, we also go too much into, oh my God, how can they see me? How do they see me taking my kids to school? It is my wife supposed to be doing this. How do they see me cooking for my kids? So if we have the change mindset where even if the society doesn't agree with it, you're in this community that doesn't agree with a man staying home, but that's what you have agreed on with your wife, because maybe your wife has been more qualified than you, and you decide, okay, I'll take care of the kids, babe. Go do the job. Bring in the money, you know. So at the end of the day, change mindset can be based on society. You can base it on society, but I would say do it for you, or do it for your own benefit, for your family. Because most cases, when we look at society, it may not accept you. They may talk and talk, and maybe you start saying, okay, you know what, baby, I'm going to go back to work, we'll get a nanny. Yet it would have been cost effective if one of you stayed home and one of you maybe did the breadwinning or bringing money in. So my second point was sharing households. It's very important also to remind ourselves that most cases we have the mindset of telling ourselves that we are the ones taking care of the children. And that goes to motherhood and parenthood, where you don't want to share roles with your husband. You keep saying, motherhood roles, I'm really exhausted because of all these motherhood roles, but you never even consider saying parenthood. So it makes your husband, it pushes your husband away. And he's like, okay, she can take over the roles. She keeps saying motherhood, motherhood, motherhood. I never hear parenthood. I could take these kids to the hospital if she's not here, but she prefers to do everything. So sometimes the words we use also can trigger someone's mindset to thinking you got it all. But if we have a changed mindset and understand that in this modern age, we can share roles, then it becomes easier for us. And I'll go to Coach Adele to share her next point.
I want to bring in your capabilities, and it links onto what you were sharing, is your capabilities, your competencies. In that family setup, the mindset that's in that family setup, are you going to stay to the gender, or are you going to look at who's more capable of doing something? For me, is that is important in the mindset, is in that relationship, in that dynamic, even at work, who's more competent to do that task. For instance, the husband that stays home, is he not better with the kids? Is he not better at the homework than the mother or the female? So I think that mindset, and coming to society, I think society should start to understand this. We have male chefs. We have males that's better at cooking than females. And females might be better at gardening and have those green fingers. But now, you know what? A farmer should be a male. Why can't it be a female? And that shift in mindset should happen, to look at capabilities and competencies and the talents that we have. For instance, as we speak, my son is busy cooking for us, because that's what he wanted to become, a chef, and that's how he got into cooking. Yes, he's changed now the direction he wants to go in, but he still enjoys cooking. So I know I can leave him. He's competent in cooking. So why should I stop him because I'm the mother, I'm the female? It's having that shift in mindset to understand where your talents and competencies comes in.
But you see, Adele, it's because that's what you have raised them to be. You've raised them in such a way, you've raised your children in such a way that you can do something. You don't have to feel embarrassed cooking. You don't have to feel embarrassed baking because it's a role of a woman. That was those days. And I know some homes, I'm not going to be judgy, but I know some homes, they still do that. They still say, boys, you can't do this. Don't go to the kitchen. Or I'm a husband, I can't step in the kitchen. My role is not in the kitchen. So they basically look at being just breadwinners. But when you raise your children in such a way that, you know what, you want a meal, I'm not home, you can cook it. You can make your own meal. So for me, I'm really proud of you, Adele, how you raise your children. I think I'll do that for my baby boy also. To you, Coach Jay, to share your next point.
You guys are sharing amazing, amazing points. And one thing that has come in mind when you asked about, you mentioned something about the society, how we are not supposed to be caring about how the society, or rather, it should start with us. And here's a challenge to anybody who is watching us now or in the replay. Instead of focusing on the society, start with yourself and then educate the society so that they can start embracing and adapting that change mindset. Because when you influence the first person, this person is going to influence two more people, and then it's going to become like a tree that is growing. And then at the end of the day, you'll have like 10, 20 more people who have adopted a change in mindset. Now, my other thing that I would like to mention is acceptance. Like Adela said, just accept that these things are there. You cannot stop, like Adele, you cannot stop your son from becoming a chef because you're like, you know what? No, you cannot. You're not a woman or anything. Accepting that these things are happening is what allows us to start shifting our mindset. Now, my next point is going to be on conflicts and misunderstandings. I'm very passionate about communication, and I know and I believe that with a change in mindset, we are able to avoid these conflicts and misunderstandings. When a man or a woman goes out there and they say they do this, it's not going to sprout an argument that, hey, this is not your territory, you're not supposed to do this. No, people are going to be like, oh wow, this is beautiful, this is amazing, because they have the shift in the mindset. Come into our family setups, come into our families, husband and wife. When you tell your husband that, I think it's time for you to stay home and me go to work, what do you think? Is it going to bring a fight, or is it going to bring a conversation, a very productive conversation? So when both of you are in that space of a shift mindset, and as Coach Joy has said, the words we use, don't say motherhood duties, say parental duties. Be inclusive, include your partner. Those words that you use are the words, the same words that are going to stick in their minds. And the same way you communicate with your spouse, let's just use the parental setup, it's the same things that your children, as they're growing up, they are watching, they are learning. So what you give them, the foundation you give them, is the same thing they're going to do as they're adults. In this modern age, it is our responsibilities as the parents to make sure that our children adapt a changing mindset. Our children know that it is important to evolve. It is important to move with how things are growing. Grow, blossom, be the butterfly that you are meant to be. Back to you, Coach Joy.
Yeah, thank you so much for that point. And when you talked about the point of parenthood and motherhood, it just triggered the session we had in Coaching Mind about men are from Mars, women are from Venus. There is that thing we talked about where sometimes we have to educate what we want. We have to educate the men what we want, and also the men educating the women on what we want, because these are two different genders. And I shared a story that I don't mind sharing because I know my husband doesn't mind me sharing about the roles in the home. If I wake up in the morning and I decide to clean the house, clean, vacuum, do everything, and I don't ask for help from him, he's not going to assume that I need help. He's just going to sit in the couch and cross his legs and look at me while I do it. And how am I going to feel? I'm going to feel angry, I'm going to feel upset, and all these emotions rushing through. But if I ask for help from him and then he doesn't give me the help, then I know I can never ask next time. But sometimes we assume that he will not help, so you actually do not ask for the help. So he educated me. And that's where my point is going to come in, educating others on what you as a woman you'd want to be treated, basically, and also men basically educating us on how they would want to be treated, also educating the society. So he educated me, and this is where my point is coming in. He educated me that, you know what, wifey, if you want help, ask me. Tell me even a day before. Maybe I have my plans for that day. While you're cleaning, I have my own plans. I want to go and be out with the boys. So tell me, you know what, I need help tomorrow. Help me clean up this part of the house. And unless I'm so busy, I may say yes. And we are sharing the roles. But if you decide to do it and you assume that while you're doing it, I'm going to look at you and feel pity and you know, that you have so much to do, it doesn't work like that with men. It's one thing about men. You have to say and let them know what you need them to help you with, because they are helpers. They want to help. They always want to be of service to the women. So that goes to my point of educating others. While there are things we know about changing mindset when it comes to gender balance, if we know something to educate others on how to be of help to each other and not feel like the men are looked at as superior, the women are looked at as inferior, the only way we can maybe put that to an end is educating others. I know the Bible says the man is the head, and that will never go away. The man will always be the head of the family. But that doesn't stop us from also asking for help from them, because we are their helpers and they're supposed to be our helpers. Back to you, Coach Adele, to share your next point.
For me, I'm going to add on to what you and Coach Jane shared. It comes for me to communication, consistency, and your actions. Are you consistent in what you are doing? Are you one day maybe calling someone, like you mentioned in your example, a policeman or policewoman, or just call them police? What is your wording? Is it consistent? What are you sharing out there? And also learning. Are you willing to learn? Have you got that mindset to learn from maybe a different gender? Are you willing to take on board, like you shared, your husband, it's ask for help? Are you willing to learn from that person in their competency that they had? Are you willing to take that mindset and say, listen, I want to learn a new skill, whether it is whatever gender based it is, I want to learn. Are you going to take the guidance from that person on board, or are you going to take that mindset and just do it the way you want to do it? Or are you going to learn from the opposite gender? And being consistent in that, and your actions and your words that you are going to share out there, are you up and down, or are you constant? For me, that is important. In your communication, what are you sharing on social media? Are you talking equality, or are you talking one day you equal and the next day you against the males? What are you sharing? Are you against the females? Is really be consistent in your actions and your words that you are using wherever you go, in educating the society, and also then again in turn learning from society.
Wow, that's so powerful, like so powerful, like willing to learn. And the moment someone is willing to learn, and sometimes you can learn the hard way. I had to learn the hard way personally because I don't like to ask for help. That kind of, and I know we shared about this some time ago. It wasn't like a video, but we talked about it with Coach J about being so independent. Like, you're so independent that you don't want to ask for help. You find yourself like, I'm a strong woman, I can do this on my own. You get married and you take that into marriage. You keep wanting to do everything on your own, yet you have a partner. So I had to learn the hard way. And I could say I'm grateful to my husband that sometimes he had to be hard on me. He had to be like, you know what, you need help, you have to ask me. I know you need it, but I will not do it unless you ask me, unless you say, help me. So willing to learn. That's a very powerful point. Thank you so much, Adele. And consistency, because the moment you're willing to learn the other person, you're willing to learn the behavior of your husband before you start assuming he doesn't want to help you, he doesn't want to be supportive. Are you also consistent in requesting for help so that it becomes part of him that, you know what, every Wednesday we clean up, every Saturday we clean up. I don't need her to ask me anymore. I need to actually just do it. So that it becomes basically equality. That's where equality comes in my own perception in this point. But thank you so much, Adele, for this point. To you, Coach Jay, to share your next point.
Right. Again, Adele is always doing that. I think, Adele, we need to have a side chocolate. However, to top up on what Adele has said, there's something very important that we have been practicing for the last 2 months, I think, having fun in the process. And when we are having fun with this change in mindset, we are enjoying. It's like when you're going, you're having fun with your friend, you're going out with someone. When you are having fun in something, it doesn't look so stressful. It doesn't give you that like, oh my God, oh my God. In that moment, your energy is up here. It boosts your energy. So when we are thinking about gender balance in the modern age, let us have fun in that. Let us want to learn and explore in a fun way, not in a way that you want to point fingers and say men are better than women, women are better than men. No, we want a society where we accept that there's the structure that is there, but at the same time, we accept that roles can change. We accept that today I can be the breadwinner, tomorrow you are the breadwinner. We accept that our children will not want the same things that we wanted when we were young, and that is fine, that is okay. So for me, I will say it's all about having fun in the process. And as Adela said, consistency, willing to learn, and importantly, your attitude. Because we can give all the tips in the world, but if your attitude is not there, there are high chances you're not going to transition into this new phase of gender balance, into this new phase where we appreciate each other, we love each other, and we accept each other as we are. Back to you, Coach Joy.
Yeah, amazing. Accepting yourself. And the most important thing, attitude. You cannot have a changed mindset or even help others to have a changed mindset if you do not have the attitude towards it. Otherwise, before we go to our closing, I would want to ask Coach Adele if she can share anything before we go on any advice to people out there on having a changed mindset when it comes to gender balance in this modern age.
For me, I'm going to bring competition in here. Don't make a competition out of it. If your mindset is males are better or females are better or this one is better or that one is better, you need to shift your mindset. It's not a competition. It's about, like you said earlier, it's about the equality, the acceptance, and having that awareness is, for me, it's the key points that I'm taking from the session and that I want to share out there is have the awareness, take the actions, learn, and be willing, and have that mindset to shift it, to see the different perspective.
Yeah, I like that. Learn, because as Coach Jay also always says, we are students of life. We can never stop learning every day. So while I want you to learn something from me, I'll also learn something from you. And we can only find equality if we keep learning from each other. Your last point, Coach Jay.
My last point is going to be, I'll just pose it as a question. Why not? Why don't you want to embrace this mindset shift towards gender balance? Why not? What is stopping you from transitioning into this phase? And if you have the answers to that, ask yourself more questions that are going to help you move from that zone and start becoming and evolving, becoming better, and letting us be, the gender balance in the modern age, loving each other and accepting each other as things are. Thank you.
All right. And it just reminded me of our topic we had some time ago. Why not me? And I would like to say, if you have any point, any comment you'd want to add on what we shared today, please leave it in the comment section to let us know what you think about this topic, because it's very important. We are living in this modern age and we have to accept the evolving. And just like Adele said, and she has raised her children to understand that this modern age, you can go to the kitchen and make mommy a meal, not the other way around, you know. It doesn't matter whether you're a boy or a girl, you can do things that both genders do. It doesn't have to be this is this for men, this is for women, this is, we have to accept the times we are in. And for me, that would come to the closing. But before I close, if you haven't joined the Mindset Shift CEO group, you should join. When I say CEO, I don't mean we make so much money. That's not what I mean. I mean you are a CEO of your life. And with your CEO of your life, you take care of your life. Other than that, I would want to say again, thank you so much, Coach Adele, for being here. I'll be sharing Coach Adele's details down for the ones who haven't been here to watch with us. And you could follow her. There's a lot of inspirational messages she shares on all her social medias, Facebook and Instagram. And of course, even joining Coaching Mind. Yes, I'll leave a link. You can join Coaching Mind so that you also broaden your mind. You become another CEO of your life through Coaching Minds. I don't know if there's anything Coach Joe would want to share, or Adele, before we close.
What I will say is what you've mentioned about being a CEO, that is also a mindset. Accepting that you are a CEO, that's a mindset shift. And when you accept that, you place yourself on a very different level, a very happy level, I must say. And I hope everybody accepts that they are the CEOs of their lives. They are in charge of the choices they make, not the society, not Coach Joy, not Coach Adele, not their spouse, but they are in charge of the choices they make because they are the CEOs of their lives. So my final remarks will be thank you so much, Adele, for joining us. Thank you for Coach Joy for hosting us. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next weekly video.
All right.
I just want to say thank you for the invite. I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot from both of you. For the people watching or watching the replay, just drop your comments, and just remember this: the change starts with you. Your mindset shifts start with you, and that gives a snowball effect. And the CEO of your life, I like that what you've shared today, and join us. And looking forward to connecting with you all.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll be signing out. For everyone who was here, thank you so much, Paul. Thank you, Brenda Lees. Thank you. I don't know this person. There's no name. Maybe it's my husband, or Izer is here. Other than that, thank you so much for showing up. And please, anyone watching the replay, leave us a comment on what you think of the topic. Other than that, your mindset is your superpower. Till next time.